Hi. Okay, so today I want to chat a little about motivation. It's a topic that I talk a lot about with my clients, and it gets brought up a lot in terms of why or why not someone is or is not following through on something, right? We all feel that kind of lull sometimes in terms of wanting to do the things we need to do. And there's ways that we can start to improve on that and to find that lull become to make that less and less, right? Motivation is what determines what we do, right? It's how we do something and how much we end up accomplishing. So it's really important to kind of look into it a little bit more and understand where it comes from and how we develop it. And not just kind of saying, oh, it's not motivation, it's dedication, right? But it's even more than that. It's understanding how we even get to doing the things we want to do and want to accomplish, and how do we keep doing the things even when they get hard, right? So there are two types of motivation that can both get you to take action. However, one type of motivation tends to drive better outcomes and satisfaction. So these are called extrinsic and intrinsic motivators. So extrinsic is a set of motivators or motivation that occurs when actions are performed to receive like external feedback, basically like rewards or medals or a recognition. Or it's also can be to just avoid danger or putting off some kind of criticism. So things like praise or compliments, right? Or increased compensation from a job or work. These are extrinsic motivation involves basically engaging in an activity because it leads to like a tangible result or avoids a punishment. So something like looking a certain way on a certain day to show off or to have people give those compliments. It can also, extrinsically motivated people tend to focus more on outcomes rather than the kind of emotion associated with the behaviors they're doing, meaning kind of like, I just want to get there, so whatever I got to do to get there, and it's this one place we got to get to, gotta be at. Where intrinsic motivation is going to also associate how they're feeling and utilize those feelings to keep going in the process, versus at this point, at this date, I need to be at this size, this shape, this feel, I need this, right? Because I'm going to see these people, or I'm going to be in front of these people, or this is going to happen, right? So intrinsic motivation, then, on the other hand, is fueled by taking part in activities that genuinely give you joy. And it's not about feeling pressured or kind of obligated to do so. It's really about the emotion that goes along with that, that you recognize, whoa, I feel better when I do that. I want to keep doing that, right? Or, oh, when I don't do that, I feel this way. Okay, no, that motivates me to want to do that, right? Emotionally charged in that sense. Intrinsic motivation does a lot more than just get you to learn and take action. It also results in a lot more sustained interest, which is where a lot of you will come and say, how do I get my motivation back? Well, I don't know where it went, right? It creates excitement. They are more confident boosters. It allows us to have that dedication and persistence. Because we're associating these emotions and feelings with what we're doing, we can drive a longer period of motivation, right? Of these feelings to want to do something. And yeah, I think where I'm going in all of that is just understanding that both have their benefits. Having this external thing that we're moving towards, or a date and time, can be beneficial. Yet relying on that can also reside in losing this intrinsic reward, intrinsic motivation, because we're so focused on getting here that we don't associate the emotions and the benefits of what we're doing strong enough that when we get there, all of a sudden everything crumbles, right? Or we go right back where we came from, because we didn't establish the why we're doing what we're doing and really feel into it. So, when your behaviors are motivated internally, we get these more positive emotions. We get these feelings of satisfaction. We recognize that it's those small wins, the progress tab that we go through in terms of noticing, whoa, yeah, like this is getting better. Like my energy in the afternoon, I don't have that dip anymore. Like, wow, that feels good. instead of saying like, I just need to get these things done to get here to this place, right? And that's why we're doing these things, because as soon as we get to that place, that's going to crumble unless we recognize the benefits of what we're doing and feel the benefits of them, feel when we don't do them, right? That's really going to drive why we want to keep doing something. So the cool thing is that we can build intrinsic motivation, right? We can continue to increase it and to grow it stronger. And by doing that, we can build a lot more contentment, confidence, and long-term sustainability of doing what we need to do to stay healthy and sustain where we're going, right? We talk a lot about that. It's not just getting to your goal, it's sustaining your goal, right? And that's where the difference between a lot of programs out there and what people are doing, it's like anyone can get you really to a goal, but being able to sustain that, it goes about in the methods, it goes about in the skill sets, it goes about in the mindset, right? What's behind it. And this is a big piece of mindset, right? How we're thinking about what we're doing. Why are we doing it? Are we doing it for extrinsic reasons, or are we doing it for intrinsic reasons? Right. So I'm going to share some ways of how you can build intrinsic motivation below. However, I also want you to start noticing yourselves. Do you embody more intrinsic motivators right now or more extrinsic motivators right now? Right? Having a combination tends to be one of the better routes to go. However, making sure always to have those intrinsic motivators, we don't lose sight of those, is going to help us drive when we don't have an extrinsic motivator, right? When we aren't praised or complimented or something else, we don't waver on doing these things just because that date is no longer there, or summer's over, or whatever that event happened, right? We have other reasons of why we're doing it, and we always want to come back to doing it for a purpose of ourselves, for building something within, right? So yeah, see how you can start to shift. If you're more extrinsic, where can you build more intrinsic? See if some of these suggestions below are helpful.